How's it going, everybody? This is Alex Caceres, and you're listening to Story of the Fight.
What is up, Will?
What up?
Welcome, everybody, to Story of the Fight. My name's Merab. That's my boy, Will. This is where we talk all things combat sports. Today, we will be covering UFC 311. But before we do, Will, I want to make sure we remind everybody, you got to like, you got to subscribe, you got to hit that notification bell. In case TikTok goes down again, you still got your boys over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're Story of the Fight on everything at Story of the Fight. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Reddit, Twitch. Story of the Fight everywhere. Make sure you follow us everywhere so you know when we're going live and see all the other stuff we post. Trying to be more active on social media. We're going to be covering UFC 311 tonight.
We sure will.
The whole card, top to bottom. Maybe a couple early prelims we won't talk about. But if there's any specific fights you want to hear about, we're going to have timestamps. Otherwise, if you're live, like Genevieve, shout out Genevieve. If you're live, we're just going to run through Evie. We're going to run through starting with the main event, work our way down.
That's right. Shout out Combat Sports Today. Make sure you follow them too. You know what I mean? If anybody likes Combat Sports, follow us. Follow Combat Sports Today. You know, follow everybody. Why not?
If you like cozy gaming, check out Genevieve on Twitch.
Ooh.
Genevieve, put the Twitch URL in the chat.
Let's do it. Look, there's enough ears to go around. Everybody, wants content these days. So why not? But hey, Will, by the way, you're coming fresh off of an announcing gig, huh? Commentating gig?
Yeah, me and Toasty got to commentate CCFC 5, Daniel Compton's Central Coast Fight Championship.
Compton. Nice.
Dude, so much fun.
Hey, did you have an opportunity to kind of like drop some promos for the podcast while you're there?
A couple, but
okay.
A couple. I didn't want to overstep, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to
I would have just worn a suit that just said Story of the Fight. Just, just randomly dropping it. But hey, while you were doing that, there was UFC 311 going down. Well, we had Islam Makhachev, who was supposed to be going up against Tsarukyan. Everybody was looking forward to this battle. Tsarukyan, this would have been the second matchup, right?
Yes, this would have been the rematch. It's similar to like they fought at early prospects. This would have been now for a belt. Would have been cool to see revisit.
Tsarukyan has evolved as a fighter. Islam has gotten better too. So this was a really intriguing matchup. But it didn't happen, Will. Oh, gasp. For anybody that didn't watch UFC 311 and doesn't already know, they're like, what?
Yeah.
The fight didn't go down. Yeah. So we have Tsarukyan that pulls out, was it one day before?
1 a.m. Friday morning.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Uncle Dana does not like that. Not like that.
After we talk about the fight, we'll talk about what's next for Armin and some of the stuff they said. We'll talk about a little bit of that stuff. Let's get into the fight. So yeah, he pulls out. Moicano was supposed to fight Dariush. They said, sorry, Dariush, here's his money. And Moicano gets the title shot on a day's notice. Allegedly. And then, he steps in to fight Makhachev for
money.
The
Moicano, dude, always ready to go.
Can't afford to lose, dude.
Dude, honestly, I'm a big fan of Moicano's.
How can you not be?
Dude,
so fun.
Much fun. So much fun.
How's he Parker's in Brazil?
With the mic, he's just money with the mic, man.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
Mike Moicano, that's what he should
this be. Time. Yeah, unfortunately, this time just with the mic. But yeah, let's get into the fight. Come on.
Yeah, let's get into the fight. So we have Islam Makhachev goes in, right? Both of these guys definitely on a roll. Islam, is this his fourth title defense?
Fourth title defense. This is like if he wins this one, it's the most title defenses in the lightweight division in UFC history. Big deal.
Yeah.
Moicano said that he'd been training for Islam for a long time. He's in the same camp as Armin, right? I think they might have. There's two schools of thought. Some people are saying, look, there's a decent chance Armin knew he came into this injured and was hoping he'd be able to make it. And Moicano knew this and was prepared, knowing that he's also on the same card, also preparing for Makhachev, potentially, right? Who knows? Allegedly.
Yeah.
The fight starts and they're throwing hands, catches Islam off balance. The commentary booth thinks it's a knockdown. But it was really just kind of like a weird, awkward. He tried to pull his head back and got off balance. But that's rare to see Islam even off balance. He's one of those fighters who's very well. His base is so strong that you don't really see him off balance too much. And even though it wasn't a knockdown, he didn't really clip him. I was like, oh, this, Moicano might have some success here. And then because of the matchup, Islam is a southpaw. Moicano is orthodox, which means he can just reach down and grab that lead leg. He doesn't have to reach across him to grab the lead leg. He can just reach down and grab it. It's right there for him. Grabs the lead leg, puts the left hand over the shoulder, takes him down with like a minute or two into the fight.
Yeah. It was a beautiful sequence, really, man, right? Because it's kind of like single leg, goes to like a high crotch, and then he sees Moicano's balance is still pretty solid. And then while pulling on the right leg, pushes him down on the top. Just
the old push-pull.
He just, for somebody that's so high level, man, and a lot of times you see like really fancy things come from folks in the UFC, especially at this level. But for him, a lot of it's just like really, really good at the fundamentals. And the basic techniques, right?
Yeah.
And it makes it even much more impressive. Look at that.
I mean, it's so cool. Also, shout out the shorts. Thank God Venom is doing custom shorts for fighters. Because that's better than the generic. Everybody looks the same.
Yeah. It is
cool.
Looking good. So,
could be better, but it's a start.
He gets Moicano down, right? Moicano at a certain point starts, what was it, the butterfly guard? He starts working starts creating some separation between him and Islam. And then he throws a couple up kicks up. And then like Islam gives him a little bit of space. Moicano starts getting up, like turns, gets up on all fours. And Islam's like, don't do that.
That's exactly what I wanted you to do.
And he jumps on that Doris, man.
Yeah,
with the quickness.
He's so fast on it, dude. I mean, look at it's so nasty. And Moicano's good on the ground, dude. His jiu-jitsu is very good. I know a lot of people were saying like, look, Moicano doesn't mind being on the ground. It's going to open up his striking. He's not going to be so scared of getting taken down. He'll actually open up with his hands and stuff. As soon as it got to the ground. I mean, it's the same thing with Oliveira, right? Like when Islam took Oliveira down, he passes and then gets him in the arm triangle immediately. Like his top game to like time to submission is so fast. It is crazy.
Did he really say who gave him that black belt afterwards?
Dude, he always it's so funny, dude.
And he's like, I'm sorry, guys. I've been doing Sambo for a long time. He is low-key hilarious, though.
Yeah, I mean, they both are. They're both funny guys. I felt bad for Moicano. I mean, but day's notice. It is. And
what are you
Islam
gonna do?
Is.
You're not gonna say no, unless you're Saryuki.
No.
You know what I mean?
So basically, I mean that's basically the fight. It was pretty quick. 4 minutes in, he gets the submission, chokes him out. Dana in the post-fight press conference says Arman is not getting a title shot next, and he will have to work. He'll have to earn it again. And they asked him when he said that, they're like, "Hey, dude, you think he could have fought?" And he's like, "Well, I'm not saying that." But he also was talking about how they sent the doctor to go check on him. He's like, everybody will agree we got like the best doctor staff. They checked him out. He couldn't continue, and it made it seem like maybe the doctor was like, "You can continue."
Yeah.
And the
doctor's like, "Dude, you stubbed your toe. What are you doing?"
Yeah. It's just a little, But a lot of people are thinking. Everybody saw Arman going into this fight, how huge he was. A lot of people were thinking, oh, he's not going to make weight.
Couldn't make weight.
Couldn't make weight. And the UFC covered for him, basically said, yeah, it's an injury.
Which makes more sense because then Dana would be like, he was very unprofessional coming into the fight, wasn't prepared. So he's going to have to earn it. That makes sense because I don't remember seeing Dana telling somebody you're going to have to earn it again after they got hurt.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen the flip. Someone who has a title shot scheduled and pulls out for injury, we've seen them get it when they come back. But also, there's really the UFC doesn't really deal with like setting precedents and then sticking with them. They're kind of just like fly by the seat of their pants, whatever. There's no principles in the UFC.
Damn, bro, that was harsh.
I mean, come on, what are we talking about? you know what I always say? You can't wait for title shots. Meanwhile, Colby's out for a year and a half and gets one. Like,
yeah. I think that's Colby Covington though.
Yeah,
he's an American hero. All right, man. But hey, props to Islam. The most
Well, you know what's
decorated lightweight
You
champion.
know what's crazy about Islam is this is now once again a late notice replacement fighter for him to defend his belt against. Which, yeah, it's ballsy on both sides. We always talk about that. It's
Yeah.
more ballsy for the guy who is taking a fight on short notice if they weren't training. Moicano had a full camp. He was always going to fight on this card. So that's a little different. But it's also tough for a champion to defend their belt against someone who they were not preparing for.
Yes.
And Arman and Moicano are very different fighters. I love
Yes.
Moicano, but he's not quite the same level as Arman, and he's very different style. So props to Islam. Volk was a short notice replacement. Moicano's a short notice replacement now. 2 of his title defenses are short notice replacements. But goddamn, dude, he's so good. Dana finally said he's pound best.
He said gladiators didn't get to pick who they were fighting and going into the Coliseum, right? And
That's
I respect that.
Champ I like.
I respect that. Anybody, anywhere, anytime, let's go. And he said he's down to fight Duplessis.
Dude, fuck it.
Why not? Let's see what he can do.
I actually like him. I would like him to stay at lightweight. I still want to see the Arman fight.
I say put him up against Alex Pereira. Put him up against John Jones.
Anything that will keep Jiří away from Alex. I'm fine.
Yeah, please. We'll talk about that a little bit later, actually.
Hey, shout out Pepper. Hey, boys, first UFC show I actually watched. Main event was a little underwhelming. Now I understand UFC fans watching Denver. Well, I mean,
snaps.
It's quick, right? It's the same thing, super like Haggerty. You're looking for this crazy fight, and it doesn't quite happen because it ends so quickly. That was at least a little different, though, because it was 2 high-level guys, extremely high level. Moicano's high level, but it's not. He was supposed to fight Arman. It would have been a different fight. It would have been a much different fight.
Absolutely.
When they announced,
there's still something about like appreciating the legend of Makhachev growing, right? Like we're seeing it right in front of us. We're going through the process.
Yep.
So Pepper completely understand, right? But I guess just not having seen Islam work his way up and see what he's doing now, I guess it's a little bit harder to appreciate, right?
Yeah, and Ghost is basically echoing exactly what I'm saying. What's up? Little cynical here, but I want to see Islam versus Arman 2 even more now, and I'm in the same boat.
Yes,
I'm in the same boat because this was like when they announced Moicano stepping up. I'm like, okay, Islam's gonna run through him. I like Moicano, but Islam is just on another level compared to him, and the fact that Islam did what he did, it just proves that point even more so. He didn't have like oh man, Moicano really took it to him. No, Islam doesn't have fights like that.
Give Moicano Patty Pimblitz now,
Yeah.
Easy money.
Yeah.
Just come on. He deserves a couple fun fights. Let him make some extra money, possibly some bonuses.
Well, this shouldn't hurt him in the rankings, in my opinion.
No, props to Moicano for stepping up in a 1-day notice, dude. Saving the card like that. You know what I mean?
Hey, Coleslaw. Shout out Coleslaw out in the crab boat. That first round was still a banger. Money Moicano almost dropped Islam. Still impressive. Look, he went out there. He did his thing. He got Islam off balance, which is more than most can say.
Yes, absolutely.
Pepper says, I'm assuming he is like Mike Tyson. Every fight you expect him to smash his opponent, so when he does it's not a disappointment. Not necessarily. I don't know if Pepper, I don't know if you saw this, but he was scheduled to fight Arman Tsarukyan, and Tsarukyan pulled out the Friday morning. Moicano stepped up. So this was never going to be like a competitive fight, in my opinion. Anything could happen, right, in a fight, but like 9 times out of 10, this was never going to be competitive. Not on a day's notice, not jumping up the rankings this high.
Hey, like Kevin Garnett said, man, anything is possible. Rich probably appreciates that.
Was he the one that was in was he in Uncut Gems?
I believe so, yeah. That was him.
That's what I know him from.
Yeah. He's an actor, Will.
Yeah. He did great in that movie. I think he played himself, though.
Oh, that's hilarious. No, so do you have anything else for the main event?
Blunderbo says he went out there. High praise.
He went out there. He did. He did.
He certainly got in the cage.
Yeah, and he also walked out to some Tupac, if I remember correctly. Respect.
I didn't see the walkout.
Yeah, walked out to some Tupac. A lot of respect for that. All right, man.
California, right? All right.
Ready to go to the co-main event?
Yes, let's go from something that was not so great to something that I thought was incredible.
Merab Dvalishvili versus Umar Nurmagomedov. Well, this is the one that we both got wrong, right? We both predicted Umar.
We both predicted Umar. I think this is the only one we got wrong, right?
Yeah.
Rich got this one right. Rich picked
Of course
Merab.
he did. Got Rich.
Dude, Rich is a fucking wizard, dude. It's crazy.
I don't know what's going on, man. I'm telling you.
The vibes,
All these
dude.
vibe picks, dude.
He's in tune.
He just goes outside barefoot, touches the grass, and makes his picks, dude. You know what I mean?
Dude, all those pictures of Jiří out in like a waterfall or like in Iceland, is that
That's
Rich
Rich.
is just doing the same shit, dude. He's going out into the woods and just fucking looking at trees.
Comes back the
with
woods
picks.
in Texas.
Yeah.
Yes, the well-known woods.
Oh, I forgot you guys have shit nature.
Yeah. You have a couple man-made lakes. It's all good.
There you go. All right, Merab versus Umar. First round, I thought Umar fought excellent that first round.
A lot of feints, man, that were working.
A lot of feints. He got cracked a couple times. Merab did a great job of entering in with that overhand. He would duck hard on that overhand. And you have to respect the takedowns from Merab since he throws so many of them. He shows you so many entries that you're going to get hit with that right hand most of the time because you're so preoccupied. Austin, shout out Austin, says Merab is him. This was the fight I was really looking forward to, and I'll admit that Merab's special, man. His record with wins is insane right now, 100%. But, really good movement from both guys, really, but Umar is just so impressive. And one of the things that impresses me the most about Umar is in this fight, while Merab is crashing into him and they're in close range, he's just throwing kicks to the body, both sides. He go left, right, left, kicks to the body while they're in close. And you're just like, God damn, he's just fucking smacking them on both sides with these kicks. It's so cool to watch. He's so dexterous with his kicks.
Yeah.
There's the big right hand that Merab likes to throw as he darts in. There's a body kick from Umar. But second round, he had that sick ass back take. I think that was in the second round, right?
Yeah.
Umar did. Ends up in that back position up against the fence. Merab gets up pretty quickly, but I was looking forward to the grappling in this fight a ton. I was really excited to see how these guys were going to match up in the grappling.
Was it in the second two where Umar cracks Merab, where Merab takes a step back, right?
Yeah, he stung him, huh?
And so that was the reason. What was it? The last fight where I picked O'Malley against Merab because I thought like Merab is susceptible to getting caught with the right when he crashes in like that. And so I figured, O'Malley with this striking prowess is going to be able to catch him. The disrespect, Merab wins, right?
Yeah.
We come up to this fight. I pick Umar. The disrespect, dude.
Look,
and dude, the pressure. He just has this insane pressure, insane cardio. We already know about this about Merab. And while most fighters in that pace start slowing down, going into the third, the fourth, the fifth, Merab almost seems like he starts picking it up more in the fourth, in the fifth. It's insane, man.
Yeah, and he's got a great game plan. This was sick. The spear takedown that Umar was able to just roll with the butterfly hook and flip him over. That was so fucking cool. Just so much cool grappling. But to your point, he took the first two rounds. I thought round two was actually neck and neck until Umar stung him. And then I was like, okay, well, that's probably Umar's round. And then third round, Merab just fucking kicks into gear and he says, okay.
It's all Merab.
And it really reminded me of Claudia Gadelha versus Joanna Jędrzejczyk for the belt.
Oh,
because remember Claudia won the first two rounds, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. And then Joanna just fucking went to town, dude, and just kicked it up a notch, and then never slowed down. And that's kind of like what this was, dude. And if you're gonna steal the first two rounds from Merab, you gotta be ready for that third. Because he knows.
You better come correct after that, You
better come correct, dude. There's the sweep. It's so fucking cool.
Yeah, that was so clean. But also, we should say Umar broke his hand in the first round.
Yeah, we have a picture of it at the end of the slide.
But how much do you think that also affected his grappling?
He was punching with it. Ghost says, I like how Umar's manager threw out the broken hand narrative, even though he kept throwing out the same hand. So he was punching with the hand. His hand is fucked for sure.
It looked pretty nasty.
It looked pretty nasty. He did keep throwing it, but like you said, it can definitely affect the grappling, right? Like, even if you're still punching with it.
Like, I'm thinking about, like, was it the third or fourth round where he tries to grab Merab from the back, right? Grips his hands. Merab starts pushing down on his hands.
You got to go immediately, right?
And, like, looks over at Habib and puts his arms up.
Yeah.
You remember that? But I'm just thinking, like, dude, that's got to be so painful.
Yeah, it's got to hurt like hell.
And look, I'm not trying to make any excuses for Umar, but
it is something that happened.
Jacked. Yeah.
Not sure if you saw the counter body shots from Merab, but those helped slow down Umar. Yeah, Merab did a fantastic job. He's not like super, super like well versed or like super versatile, you know. But like what he does, it fits his fighting style so well. Because if you're a guy who wants to weaponize cardio, what's better than also taking away their cardio with body punches? You know, if you're gonna try to outpace somebody, part of that is also sapping them, right?
Yeah.
Like naturally, everybody's gonna get tired. If he gets tired less, might as well just add insult to injury and just keep digging to the body. He's just so fucking good, dude. And like they were talking about, he's like, he actually hasn't shot that much. And Anik's like, that was his 20th attempt. And you're like, right, yeah, that is a lot, but that's still low for him.
That is crazy. Hilarious.
He passes GSP for the most takedowns in UFC history. And he did it against Nurmagomedov, which is crazy. I mean, it's crazy. Genevieve says, sorry, boys, but a broken hand doesn't make up for the lack of blood. Broken legs, yes, but not hands. But yeah, there's the hand. It is jacked up for sure.
Yeah. There's a video, too, that he shows where, like, at different angles, it almost looks like the entire right side of his hands kind of collapsed because it's so swollen up top.
Yeah.
You know, but, nasty.
Yeah, not fun. That being said, Umar is... How old is Umar? And this is his first loss.
29, maybe?
29, okay.
Yeah, 29.
Oh, damn, he was born on the same exact day as Katie. That's cool.
Oh, damn, they share a birthday.
Share a birthday, same year.
Happy birthday, Katie.
Yeah, she just had it this month. But I mean, he's young. He'll be back for sure. Merab at this point. What are the rankings right now at
I got you here. We got bantamweight champion Merab, of course. Then you have Sean O'Malley, Umar, Piotr Jan, Corey Sandhagen, and Davison Figueiredo rounding up the top 5.
Damn, son. I don't know if they do the rematch with O'Malley. They do the rematch with Piotr Jan. I don't know what they do, to be honest.
Just toss a Corey Sandhagen in there for shits and gigs
after he just lost to.
Yeah, what do you do?
I don't know what you do. He's not going to go up to featherweight. I've seen some people float the idea of Pantoja going up. I don't necessarily want to see that, if I'm being honest. I think Pantoja has a couple fun fights at flyweight right now. I also don't want to see Pantoja get relegated to fighting with his back against the fence. I don't want to see that happen to another one of my favorite fighters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Merab is just something else, man. He just refuses to slow down. It's fucking pretty incredible to watch.
I'm letting you know right now, our 2025 predictions not off to a good start.
Hey, it could still happen.
It could still happen. We'll see.
Yeah. Go says Jan versus Umar would be interesting since Umar likes range and Jan has good methodical pressure. Yes, that is a fantastic fight. I would love to watch that.
It might be a while before he fights again, huh? 6 months maybe?
At least, right? The hand's fucked. Yeah. That's probably going to require surgery. But Piotr Jan, there's so many cool style matchups in bantamweight, and that is a very cool one. Jan versus Umar.
Yeah. All right, man. Anything else on the co-main event before we move on?
I do not think so.
All right, man. This is one that the people were really waiting for. And I'm not, messing around here. Jiří Procházka versus Jamahal Hill, dude.
Look, dude, I'm not messing around here when I say this.
Let's go.
Jiří is just one of my favorite fighters. I loved him in Ryzen. I remember I told you, this guy's coming to the UFC, watch out. And then he took it by storm. Dude,
opposite of Manel Cap, he came through for you.
He did. Well, we'll talk about another one that I said, keep an eye out.
Oh.
With this card. But, man, I was a little nervous in this one. Jiří's been flatlined, right? Alex really did a number on him twice, 3 times. That one, the second fight could have been stopped twice, I think. But Jamal, while he is coming back after a long layoff, bad knee injury, he is very normally very mechanically sound. He's got good boxing fundamentals for MMA at least, and that seems to potentially be Jiří's kryptonite because his defense is so fucking out there.
But the thing that like frustrated me too is I continued hearing like just how fundamental Jamahal Hill was like throughout the fight. But the unorthodox style from Jiří just works, man. Just works. Like it's just his style and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and he said, he did actually I think make some improvements.
He did
from his recent fights into this one. He's always done this very cool body kick where he just stabs you in the body. He throws it really unorthodox. But I thought his defense was pretty fucking good, dude. He got hit a couple times, but Jamal cracks and he lands shots on people. But Jiří just did a great job with his head movement. He made Jamal miss big so often. Many times you see Jamal out of position because he overthrew something, and Jiří's already turned the corner on him. It was really cool to watch.
But did you notice that he did something very similar to your boy DeBella?
Oh, DeBella.
Yes. So he's in orthodox stance, right? He feints the knee, drops down, ends up in southpaw, throws a left kick, ends up in orthodox. And so, like, if you're Jamahal Hill, and this is where I'm talking about, like, the unorthodox style, you just don't know what the hell's coming. Like, what do I – he has no choice but to have big reactions to everything Jiří's doing. So he's, like, constantly just, like, getting his own style messed up. But I just thought it was so slick, man. And then, like, Jiří, like I said, feints the right knee, lands in southpaw, and then throws that fast left.
Yeah, the left. He drops from the first with the left, right? It was a nice left straight.
Oh, dude. Yeah. His footwork was so good. His head movement was so much better. He was rolling with the punches. Like, there's this one part where like Jamal finally swings together like 3 or 4 punches, and you hear Jamahal Hill's corner go, yeah. And I'm like, he didn't, like, nothing landed solid.
There's no sting on that.
Bobbing and weaving and like, oh, dude, it was just such a beautiful performance from Jiří, man.
Yes. Kosa says, I don't know how many people I've seen take Hill in this one. He just looks so slow, and Jiří straight up outclassed him. Yeah, I mean, Jiří really turned it up for this one. I think he knew coming off the Alex fights, like, hey, I need to make some changes, and not just like some spiritual changes. Like, he needs to like
say make something. Will,
I'll let you. I'll allow it.
I don't think Jamahal Hill is everything everybody thought he was cracked up to be. Look, take a look at that little run he went on.
Mm-hmm.
He loses to Paul Craig. He beats Jimmy Crute. He beats Johnny Walker. He beats Thiago Santos. Now, granted, he did beat Glover Teixeira.
Post-war with Jiří, right?
Post-war. But, like, I never really thought from Jamahal Hill, even when he became the champion, I wasn't like, man, this guy's a world beater. He's going to be a champion for a while.
True, yeah.
Like, going up against Alex Pereira, I was like, oh, this is easy for Alex Pereira. Going up against Jiří, even though he was an underdog in this one, I thought to myself, like, oh, this is Jiří all the way. We both picked Jiří going into this. I just taking a look at the folks that the Jiřís and the Pereiras have beat compared to the Jamahal Hills, I was like, I still think there's a different level.
Yeah.
Man.
No, definitely. And like Ghost is talking about, fundamental Jamahal Hill was a funny from the commentary. His footwork is so bad because every time he throws his rear hand, he falls in the opposite stance. Yeah, it's like when he stays composed, he'll throw like a nice 2 or 3 punch combination. But anytime he's like on the outside or he's retreating, or like if he's throwing just one shot, like he crosses himself up a lot with his feet. Like his upper half is fine most of the time, but his bottom half is fucking horrible. But because it's MMA, that can still get you pretty fucking far, because boxing and MMA is pretty bad, largely. But man, so the finishing sequence, right? They get to the third round, sorry. and Jiří just fucking cracks him with a nice right hand he hits him with the left and then rolls into a big right hand that drops him. They go to the ground for a second. They get back up, and credit to Jamahal. In that moment, Jamahal says, "I'm about to fuck you up, dude. You dropped me, but I'm gonna get this back." He throws a nice knee to the head, and they're swinging, and then Jiří hits him with that uppercut in the clinch, and then just throws him out like a bag of garbage, dude, and just fucking, and then finishes him on the ground. Yeah, just fucking another violent Jiří fight. This man is violent, dude.
Back to what Ghost said, right? With the whole Mr. Fundamental thing, like the way, like Jiří with his head moving the entire fight, slipping and dodging punches, and that was a big like right hook that Jamahal, like you could see him winding up.
Yeah.
So Jiří saw it from a mile away, winds up, wide hook. Jiří's like, oh, dude, like Matrix style, slow motion.
Yeah,
and then just comes up with that left. Bounces off the shoulder, hits the top of the head a little bit, but it was that right, like you said, that cracked him, dude. But
yeah,
dude, it just, for me, watching Jiří, and then we'll stop glazing him. It was just like I just felt like it was in slow motion for him yesterday. Look at that signed glove, Jiří, huh?
Bought this because I knew he was going to be champ.
Does it still smell like the redwoods? Does it smell like the last forest he was in? He's just in the forest, just signing gloves, dude. And just
One thing I do want to give Jamahal credit for is he was struggling with the head movement.
Oh.
He got out there. Much like Moicano, he did make it into the cage.
Yes, he did.
You can't say the same about Arman. But Jamahal, he was struggling with the head movement of Jiří. He was overswinging, things like that. Eventually, that second round, he started just grabbing Jiří by the back of the neck and just blasting him a couple times, hockey style, right? And we've seen that in the past when if you can't hit somebody, start digging him to the body, hit him in the legs, grab a hold of him and start hitting him. You can't move your head if you're fucking holding them there,
Facts.
So that is a good adjustment that Jamahal had. It's just you got to be something else to put out Jiří, and
you have to have the dark arts behind you, man.
Yeah, I think Ghost mentioned it.
Yeah, because Jiří has the natural arts. He has nature behind
boy.
him. Jiří, the nature boy, Procházka. Oh man, but yeah, great fight though. Props to Jiří. What do you do with Jiří next?
Oh man.
Oh man is right.
I just wanted to point out Pepper's comment here from someone who does not watch the UFC. Jiří will make a fan out of anybody, huh? I don't necessarily want to see him fight for the title again. Like I said, when you said give Islam Alex, anything that will keep Jiří away from Alex, I'm all for. They're doing Pereira versus Ankalaev, so Procházka. They're doing Olberg versus Blachowicz. I would like to see maybe the winner of that fight Jiří. That could be really fun. He already beat Rakic. Khalil's coming off a title fight loss.
Olberg? Is
Olberg
already booked?
He's booked against Jan, right? Blachowicz? Is Krylov booked? I don't know.
Man, I don't want to see him drop that far, though.
No. And Krylov, I think Krylov's booked. Because he came out of nowhere. Everyone's like, did he die in Ukraine?
Dude, you know what? Just give him Johnny Walker. Done. Just give him Johnny Walker, dude. We'll see what kind of knockout Johnny Walker will get this time, huh?
God. Okay, he was supposed to fight
with that guy.
He was supposed to fight on 309, and Mirzakhanov withdrew, so he lost that bout. Krylov. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I would like to see him fight the winner of Olberg versus Blachowicz.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a fun fight.
All right. We shall move on, my friend. We have a few more fights to cover. Before that, we had Jailton Almeida versus Serghei Spivac.
Look, I've seen a lot of people talking shit about this one. I liked this fight a lot.
Yeah?
Going into it, I was like, this fight's probably going to suck. And I thought it was fun. I thought Spivac was fun. He looked in better shape than he has in the past. I see people saying he's just a fat light heavyweight. I'm going to go out on a limb here and disagree.
Really?
I think he's a heavyweight. Look at him. He's not out of shape there. I don't think he's out of shape.
I mean, compared to Jailton,
next to Jailton, yeah.
I was going to say, are you comparing the two, or?
Yeah, you can't, right?
Jailton's just a freak of nature, man.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. But I like this fight. This was fun. They start the fight. There's not a ton of pictures of this one. No, there's no pictures of the wizard kick that Spivac landed. He hit that wizard kick immediately. I thought that was cool as fuck.
Sweet. It was sweet.
You don't get to see Almeida off his back a lot.
It was tight. It is tight.
Yeah, it was tight. Wizard kicks are tight. But he kicks him into the corner, and then he lands some nasty elbows. Where it looked like Almeida almost went out, dude.
Dude, I
was
know.
like, oh fuck.
It took a while for it to get rolling a little bit with the ground and pound, but when he started landing, man, it was smack. You know, like you could hear it
bouncing back,
dribbling like basketball. Yeah.
Looking off to the stars. He's watching the inner screen at the arena. That was pretty cool.
Which was sick, by the way.
It was pretty cool. I like that. They did some Steam effects once UFC's finally like putting in some production value. Best we could do is Steam, but even that is much better than what they usually do.
Dude, Will, you have to break down like all the sweeps here, right? The first one,
first one was a
back
half guard sweep, right?
Yeah,
there's no pictures of the grappling.
You have Almeida keeps an underhook, right? Actually, it was the right underhook. He's trying to get up. Spivac is like in a weird angle, right? Like on his knees.
Well, he brought his knee. The leg that wasn't trapped in the half guard. It was his right knee was free, and he has it up. Spivac has his right knee up close to Spivac's head, and he's on his shin. And Jailton has his right arm on the underhook, and then he shoots the left arm underneath and grabs the ankle of Spivac in that collapsed free leg. And
simple and effective.
The old
simple and effective. Yeah, dude.
The old push and pull.
Exactly.
Ends up on top. Gets to mount. Doesn't do too much with the mount. Tries to take the back, I want to say, and Spivac goes 2-on-1. Isolates the arm, pulls it over, turns into him, ends up on top. DC's like, that should just never happen. But it's heavyweight, so of course it did. And then they get up, and then Almeida finally uses his boxing and cracks Spivac, the overhand right, hits him with his follow-up uppercut, takes him all the way to the fence, ends up back on the ground, and then mounts him, flattens him out, and then beats the brakes off of him.
Dude,
I like this picture because look at his face.
Some fun sweeps, man.
It was a cool fight, dude. I really liked it. For heavyweight, this was much better than what we normally get.
I probably won't watch it again, but it was fun while I did. You know what I mean?
I did watch it again. I watched it twice.
Oh, Lord. Why would you do that to yourself?
I don't know. I liked it, dude.
How awesome when Almeida was like, I love you, Las Vegas. Did you see that?
No.
And then yeah, and then it was either Rogan or his translator that goes, it's Los Angeles. And he goes, oh. And the crowd goes, boo.
Nice.
And then he's like, I love you, Los Angeles. And I'm like, yeah. It was so funny, man.
God, like a Simpsons episode, dude.
Like that's the secondhand embarrassment, dude, just from him being like so funny. But hey, Jailton Almeida continues moving up the ranks.
Well, this is a good bounce back, right?
Nice bounce back.
Blunderbob says commentary team asking why he took him down at the end, like it wasn't obvious. He just wanted to beat the shit out of him on the ground.
Yeah,
that's his move. That's what he does. That's definitely
so
what he
this
does.
is so he's back to 2 wins in a row, right? He lost to Curtis Blades.
Yeah.
And then he beat Alexander Romanov with an rear naked choke, and then Spivac.
Romanov.
Yeah, so
Romanov doesn't really count as a bounce back, in my opinion. And arguably, Spivac doesn't really either. But combining the two of them, it equals 1.
Counts as 1.
Back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. MMA math, dude, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, man.
No disrespect. I say that with all
no disrespect. All right, we'll move on.
Yes.
We had RDR, Reiner de Ridder versus Kevin Holland. This is the other guy that you're saying, right?
Look, everybody shitting all over Reiner de Ridder after the Meerschaert fight. Even though he got the finish, everyone's like, he looked like shit, blah, blah, blah. Meerschaert sucks. Meerschaert's fun, dude. I like Meerschaert. He's a cool. His fighting style is very cool. He's sneaky on the ground. Yes, he gets cracked often.
Dude, one of my favorite fights was with Meerschaert when he fought Hamzat.
Yeah, I know. That's a go-to Meerschaert joke. But look, Meerschaert is fun, dude. He is a skilled fighter. He's a flawed fighter, but he's skilled. And RDR, it was the first time making middleweight again for a long time. He was up at doing crazy shit, fighting Malakin over in 1. He makes 185. I think that probably had some effect on him. And he still got the win. And yeah, some of it looks sloppy, but it's also a UFC debut. It's rare for fighters to look good in UFC debuts, even the good ones. And so now, okay, this is his second fight, 2 months later. Opens the fight, stiff jab. Very cool. Stiff jab on Kevin Holland. Again, take a look. Southpaw versus Orthodox, just like Islam versus Moicano. So look how close the left leg of Holland is to RDR. He can just reach down and grab that. And what does he do? He jabs him in the face, stuns him, and then he reaches down and he grabs that leg. Genevieve says, I know he won this one, and I'm not saying De Ridder is having a terrible run in the UFC, but I was expecting him to do a lot better after coming from one. Look, you can only do what your opportunity is. They give him Mearshart. It's a weird fight. Then he jumps in against Kevin Holland, who Kevin Holland can crack. You never really know which one you're going to get. But you got to take advantage of whatever opportunities they give you. I thought this one was very good because he takes him down. Holland throws up the triangle. It's completely open. Joe Rogan's screaming about how tight it is. Even though, in this position, Rogan's screaming about how close that triangle is.
That was hilarious.
Yeah, super funny.
It is tight.
Yeah, it is tight. It was not. But RDR passes, throws the leg over, stacks him, passes, does a cool fucking back take as Holland gets up. And you're like, oh no, he's too high though. Holland's going to be able to shake him off. So what does he do? He grabs the arms of Holland, pulls them to the mat, and then isolates one. I think this next picture is him attacking an arm lock. Oh shit, did I not put it in? God damn it. Basically, he rolls for that arm. He attacks that arm. Holland has to roll forward. And because of that, now he's secured on his back because he was too high. But by attacking that arm and forcing Holland to roll, he basically gets to settle into the back position, which is fucking cool, dude. It is so cool. And then he chokes him out.
Nice.
What more do you want?
Are you not entertained?
What more do you want?
Evie wants blood,
Reiner
okay?
the Ritter, dude.
Wants blood.
Yeah, Evie wants blood.
For sure. There's a little bit on his arm right there. Look.
Yeah, he choked the blood out of his mouth, dude. Go says, do you like Phoenix Sky's take on this? It's a win-win when RDR fights. If he wins, UFC middleweight is bad. If he loses, one is a terrible promotion. Can't win. They say that's a win-win, but those are lose-lose in my opinion.
Yeah.
It is a good take. But look, I really like RDR. I've always really liked RDR. When he hit Big Dash with that inverted triangle, it was one of the coolest fucking thing. Genevieve says he's a fantastic grappler. There's no doubt, but his striking skills feel like they've dropped a lot. Look, we didn't get to see too much of it in this one. The Mearshart fight was very sloppy on the feet. It was very sloppy on the feet. But, like I said, UFC debut, there's jitters, all this stuff. The jab he hit Holland with in this fight, it's only one punch. That's really the only stand-up we got to see in this fight. Looked good.
Yeah.
It looked good.
I
know he's working a lot over in Killcliff,
There you go. All right, we have about 5 fights to still cover in about 15 minutes. We can do some lightning rounds if you want, Will. Next fight we're going to cover is Raoni Barcelos versus Payton Talbott.
Yes, Payton Talbott, the hype train. And Barcelos is fucking good, man. He's old, but he's good. Is. What is he? He's like 50?
Yeah, something like that.
37.
Maybe 60, closer to that.
37. He's basically 60 in MMA, especially when you're fighting someone like Payton Talbott, who's what, 12?
In MMA.
26, which is basically 12 in MMA.
Going in undefeated.
What a performance by Barcelos, huh?
Oh, yeah, that was solid, man. I think he was coming in as the largest underdog of the night.
I'm sure.
Creative takedowns, though, man. He knew that Talbot was going to be expecting it. He's going to be reacting to it. There was one beautiful takedown that really stuck out to me, but he reaches down like he's going for an ankle pick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Talbot sprawls, and before Talbot can hit the mat, you had Barcelos that spins out and takes his back. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, dude, just next level veteran savvy move.
You shouldn't be able to move that quick at 70 years old, but here he is.
Here he is, dude, all natural.
All natural. He took some big shots, too, while they were on the feet. Talbot landed that big jump knee, which is pretty sick. But ultimately, Barcelos just overwhelmed him, dude.
Yeah.
Just absolutely overwhelmed him. And it was cool to see. And this is something that Talbot will learn from, for sure. He's only 10 years old, so this is a big learning opportunity. When you get to fight someone who's 90,
that?
when you get to fight someone who's 90 and you get to absorb all that experience when you're 5 years old.
Strength, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But scorecards were 30-27, 30-27, and 30-26. So pretty dominant performance.
Very dominant performance. Cool spinning back.
Congratulations, Barcelos, too. All right, man. We can go on to the next one. We had Bekoev versus Reese. Zach Reese.
Yes. There's Islam and
going back to the main event.
But
did he just say Moicano? What's his name?
Yeah. This fight was decent. All right, we're gonna go quick through these ones. Zach Reese, he wants to fight long. He wants to fight at distance. If you get close, he's gonna smack you with an elbow, and he did, and that was his downfall because he was on the single leg, and he's like, "I'll hit you with one of my patented really hard elbows," and he hits him, and then immediately gets taken down. But props to him, he does create a ton of power in those short spots. But then he got taken down, and he was working off his back, trying to get his hips engaged, all these things. But ultimately, he just got lit up.
Yeah, and it sucks, man, because I really want Zach Reese to do well.
He's got power, dude. He's got a fun style too. I like watching his stand up a lot.
Very rarely in a boring fight. He doesn't always come out on the right end of things, right? But he's just one of those guys that he lives by the sword, dies by the sword, dude. And then also, I'm glad you put this picture on there because I was going to say, hands down, the worst blow and what completely knocked out Reese was the ref slamming his head into the mat.
Yeah, dude. He straight shoved him into the floor. It was crazy.
Head slammed into the mat when the ref shoved him.
It was crazy, dude. You're like, hey, you're supposed to pull the other guy off, not slam the other dude into the fucking floor, man.
It was bad, man. Because look, he was rocked from the ground and pound.
As he was like trying to sit up too.
Yeah, the ref's just like, nah.
Yeah. Dude. What are you doing?
It was rough. All right.
You're unconscious. Ghost says, what was your guys' favorite prelim fight other than Talbott versus Barcelos? Not the one we're about to cover, but the one
after that.
After is my favorite.
Yes. So right now we'll cover Bogdan Guskov versus Billy Elekana.
Yeah, Elekana stepping in on like a week's notice or something to make his UFC debut, I think, right?
Hey, when the UFC knocks on the door, bro, you got to answer, right?
Yeah. And once again, the time for man is over. Time for Orc has begun. Guskov, Pale Orc, comes in, immediately gets his back taken by the debutante, and spends most of the round in a body triangle. But no real threats. He a little bit of blood. I thought some of the striking was pretty cool from Elekana, but ultimately Bogdan gets out, ends up on top, and then does most of the damage of the round within the last 40 seconds, 50 seconds. And then Elekana's visibly gassed in the next round. Still landed a couple decent shots, but Bogdan,
right here.
I mean, he just,
Right here, this is where I just kept on thinking to myself, like, dude, UFC needs knees to down opponents. Let's bring it in ASAP. You want to make the sport better. You want to make it more exciting. You want to keep it moving along. Bring knees to down opponents, please. This
whole sequence, like 20 seconds of him in that position, I was like, if that's the defense, that's not intelligently defending yourself. You could just call it there, in my opinion. You really can. Jenu says he just gave up. He quit. He definitely did, and there's no shame in that. Look at the chest, though, of Bogdan. All the braids left that. He's squeezing him so tight with his chest.
Dude.
But he basically just sat there and gave him the choke, and he choked him out for a second, and he tapped. And there's
who's this?
That's not Guskov. That's NoHo Hank. He looks just like him. I should have set up an actual joke for that. Tell me that doesn't look like him. Rich, go back and forth.
What? No, it doesn't look like him.
What are you talking about? They look identical.
That looks like Uncle Fester, this guy.
You're telling me Guskov doesn't look like Uncle Fester, dude?
He looks like an orc.
All right. I should have set up an actual joke for that instead of just putting the picture in the slideshow.
Yeah, and then I didn't know what was happening. When it came up, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Nice.
All right. We can move on to the next one, man. We had Grant Dawson versus Diego Ferreira, man.
Yes. To Ghost's point or question, this was my favorite prelim. There's a couple other good ones too, but Dawson versus Ferreira, I knew this was going to be a sick one going into it. One of my favorite fights of all time was Diego Ferreira versus Gillespie. was so fucking fun. And I'm like, give him another wrestler. I'm all about it. I want to see some scrambles. And instead, Grant Dawson comes out throwing wheel kicks. I was like, what in the fuck? What is happening here?
A lot of spinning things in the beginning.
Yeah, he threw 3 spinning kicks within like the first minute. I was like, what the hell? This is crazy. Yeah. He's a wrestler, which I like. I like wrestlers who kick. And speaking of kicks, there was a moment here where Ferreira tried to play the game, and he put a hand down on the floor, which does not ground you anymore. Yeah. And Dawson just straight up soccer kicked him.
Right in the face.
I was like, and guess what? He was fine.
And he got up because he's like, I can't be in this position.
But clearly, soccer kicks are fine. It's okay.
Yeah.
And most people, there it is. Look at that. Great fucking shot. So cool. A year ago, that's illegal. And then Ferreira throws a front kick of his own. But clearly, soccer kicks are fine. They're not too violent. He was fine. This went to a decision. And everyone's saying, oh, I like knees to the head on the ground, but I'm not okay with soccer kicks because, with the fence, there's no give. It's too violent with the fence. He was up against the fence. He got soccer kicked, and he was fine.
Yeah.
Let it fly. But these guys went to a fucking war, dude.
Do you think Saif Saud didn't want him to wrestle?
I know, dude.
How many times did Saif Saud say, don't wrestle him? Dude, he was so frustrated. And there was even that one time where he's like, don't take it to the ground. Don't take no. After he takes it like so loud, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah, and Diego Ferreira got taken down a couple times, but his ability to escape on the ground is just so fun, dude. His ability to create scrambles against someone who normally Grant Dawson has he's very good at his top control game is fantastic. But just great scrambles from Ferreira. And then once they were on the feet, dude, they were cracking each other. There was a couple times they went to war in the phone booth. That's Frank Trigg, dude.
Yeah, you can be in an orc too. Look at him.
Frank, put some respect on Frank Trigg's name.
All right. But yes, that was a very fun fight. Dominant performance from Dawson. He needs to be fighting a ranked opponent, right?
Yeah, he called out Dariush. I like it.
That's a great call out. Such a good call out. Smart. Very smart.
I really like it.
All right. The last fight we're going to be covering is Gafurov versus Nakamura.
Yeah, we're skipping your girl Perez.
That's not my girl, dude.
That's not my girl. That's Brendan Fitzgerald's girl.
Yeah.
Gafurov versus Nakamura. This is what best seat in the house.
Brendan Fitzgerald, dude, so funny.
Respect.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, good guy. But yeah, Nakamura versus Gafurov. Nakamura's everybody's favorite prospect, and Gafurov just fucking took his lunch money, dude. This was the 2 prospects fell on this card. Nakamura and Talbott, because Nakamura just kept throwing these naked kicks, not setting up his kicks at all. And it seems like Gafurov knew that was coming and just kept countering every time he kicked him. Most of the time he kicked him.
Talbott, Nakamura, and Clayton Carpenter all lost their undefeated record.
Yeah, dude. Nasty.
Oh, and Nurmagomedov too, and Umar. What a night for the undefeated.
That's crazy, huh?
Eesh.
The worst night for the undefeated. Yeah. But Gafurov just fought so expertly. He's so composed. Nakamura, I thought he'd wrestle more, but maybe Gafurov, he saw the V at the end of Gafurov's name. And it's like, maybe I shouldn't wrestle this guy. Maybe he should have, because he was just getting cracked most of the fight.
Man, and maybe it was just me, but it seemed like every time Gafurov moved forward, Nakamura tried to move back just by sliding his front foot back, and his hands would come down. So he'd like scoot back like this, and the right hand just kept on coming over.
Yeah, dude.
And just bombing the left side of Nakamura's face. And I was like, dude, like, do something else, man. And then
you got to circle. Move your head, please.
Well, and the thing is, Gafurov was circling, and Nakamura was not cutting off the cage. He was, he was following him around. And so if you're Nakamura, clinch him up against the cage, see if you can work a takedown that way.
He was wrestling so good.
Yes, but instead, he wasn't getting off the cage. He was following him, and he would just allow Gafurov to reset in the center of the octagon again, where he would just crack Nakamura over again. I was just like, come on, dude.
Yeah, we got to try something else, huh? Ghost says, you guys like it when people lose their O's. I like it because people who are undefeated at fighting seem to bring out the worst in combat sports fans. Yeah, dude. People who are undefeated fighters create some insufferable fans for sure. And for me, I don't want MMA to turn into how boxing is, where there's all these, the protecting an undefeated record is so important in boxing, and once someone loses, everybody's just done with them. And MMA for a long time has not been that, and it seems like it's starting to get like that. And I really don't want that. I don't give a fuck if you have 10 losses, 20 losses. I don't care. Mark Hunt's one of my favorite fighters. Got like 1 million losses. Doesn't matter.
It was so refreshing to have such a great crowd, says Evie.
Yeah.
The Apex has no Riz. I know what that means, Will.
Whoa, look at you, dude.
What can I say?
Yeah.
My lingo,
Must be younger than Barcelos. But yeah, the crowd was good. It actually reminded me, someone pointed out one of the best fights of all time, one of my all-time favorites is, speaking of Frank Trigg versus Matt Hughes 2 from UFC 52, I think. The crowd in that fight gets so loud you can barely hear the commentators. And there was a couple times in the Jiří fight specifically, the crowd was fucking loud, dude. It was loud. So cool to see.
Dude, I'm surprised we didn't have any pictures of Jiří with the stare down again. He has the best stare down.
The stare down started again during the walkouts for this one. It was good. Yeah.
So good. Evie says Romero's hip with the lingo. No cap.
Oh, dude.
I know. I'm sorry, dude. No, I'm sorry. Rich with the sound effect in the back. All right. Hey, with my lingo, I'll toss my new lingo into the moment of silence to go along with the fights that we lost.
Yes. The Chusio fight and the Sopai fight was fun. Ulan Bekoev versus Carpenter was fun as well, but we're already an hour in.
Yes.
But yeah, so moment of silence. What did we lose? Johnny Walker was originally supposed to fight Bogdan. Guskov actually got some work in over here in San Jose. Trained with Tosi a couple times. Tosi held mitts for him. Maybe
Johnny Walker?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, but then Walker got injured because he was made of glass, and then Bogdan fought a debutante. And then Zach Reese was originally supposed to fight Cedric Dumbass. I refuse to pronounce it correctly. Nah, he's an idiot. But he withdrew. So Zach Reese got your boy. What was he? I don't even remember. Azamat. And he lost. And then obviously Islam was supposed to fight Arman. Arman pulls out. And then Dariush was supposed to fight Moicano. Moicano got bumped to the main event. So Dariush got a paycheck, and that's it.
He still got paid?
Still got paid.
Good.
Yeah.
Good for Dariush.
Wonder Boy died for that.
Man.
UFC's not going to do that again.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
All right. And then bonuses. Speaking of payouts.
Yeah, Almeida, he got a bonus for finishing Spivac. Jiří got one for finishing Jamahal.
Nice.
And then Dvalishvili versus Nurmagomedov was fight of the night.
Hey, they picked better pictures this time around.
Much better. They must be listening.
They had to have been, dude. Us making fun of the pictures that they would pick.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, maybe we should use more action-packed pictures.
Yeah.
All right. What do we have coming up next week?
Before that, let's talk about the payouts actually just briefly.
Oh, yes,
because this happened in
so
California.
See what they got paid.
Yes, Moicano got $250,000. Islam got $200,000. Merab, interesting. Merab got 500. Umar got 100. Jiří has a nice contract there, 20,000 show, 50,000 win. Jamahal got 200,000. Did I say 20? I meant 200,000. Almeida has a crazy contract, 110K. Spivac also 100K. My boy RDR making $210,000.
Good for him.
Which means so he's 105K show, 105K win. That means in 2 months since joining the UFC, he's made over $400,000.
And with this one being in California, after federal and after state taxes, he has $50,000 left.
Yeah, exactly.
Good for him, dude.
Exactly. Feel bad for Elekana. He makes his UFC debut. He gets $12,000. That's horse shit. Absolutely disgusting. Zach Reese only got 30K. Azamat only gets 12K show, 12K win. Absolutely disgusting. Sopai gets 12K show and win. Also disgusting. Clayton Carpenter 28K. Gafurov only 14K on his contract. Also absolutely disgusting from the UFC that as they're announcing, we broke the record for the arena for ticket sales. They're paying people fucking after taxes probably $8,000,
It was over 10
$9,000.
million, right? That they grossed.
Fucking disgusting, dude.
Yeah,
Absolutely disgusting.
rough.
Ghost says, I mentioned this earlier. There are Islam fans trying to justify how low Islam is getting paid per Slacky. Just weird, man. Don't you want one of the best fighters in the world to get paid more? 100%. And look, to the point, to be fair, I guess, should be mentioned that obviously he gets pay-per-view points. He'll probably cross a few $1 million for this fight. Still, the guy who stepped up on a day's notice and lost the fight got paid more for his actual contracted purse. That's crazy. Regardless of pay-per-view points, that's supposed to be in addition to a great contract when you get that as a champion. Merab also gets pay-per-view points, but his flat rate was $500,000. More than double.
Dude, there's got to be something with his contract, though. I'm guessing Ali and Habib did something to make sure that he was making something else on the back end.
It's got to be insane. But that being said, that still does not excuse 200,000 flat. That's crazy. For the pound per pound best fighter in the world, that's crazy.
I think Kevin Holland made more than he did.
I think Kevin Holland did make more than him.
Which makes sense why he made, I think it was 250. It showed on there, right? 250 for Kevin Holland, and he said he wants to fight 4 to 5 times this year. He wants to break $1 million.
Dude, he got to start winning some fights, though, man.
Oh, he might not make it through to all those fights.
Yeah, it's tough.
But he needs to fight a welterweight, dude.
Absolutely.
He can't be fighting a middleweight. And I know that he doesn't like the weight cuts, but come on.
Yeah. Come on.
All right. What do we got going on next week?
Next week, no UFC, which is good because we do have 170.
Is this Super Bond?
Pepper says, will you guys do a preview for 170? Probably not a preview episode, but we will definitely be covering the event. Tawanshai versus Super Bond. Fabricio De Andrade versus Kwanwan Il. That's a fucking banger in an MMA title fight in the co-main. Nico Carrillo takes on Nabil Adnan because Super had to pull out.
That's a good one.
So Nabil, fucking hell. Genevieve says, watch party, please. It's the only way I'm getting up that early. I'll see if I can get the day off. So I don't think, Ramiro, you probably can't do one.
Yeah, boy has important meetings Thursday, Friday, all the way through that following Thursday. So no, I could definitely not get that off.
Let's see what happens then. Sexan versus Solin is going to be fucking crazy. That's a dogfight and a half. Smoking Joe's on there against Kuyate. Kuyate's the guy that knocked out Luke Lisi. Sinsamut's back. Jojo Ghazali versus Johan Stupinan. God damn, dude. Battle of the Johans. A Bevy's back in an MMA fight. Marcelo Garcia versus Imanari, dude. Let's fucking go in jiu-jitsu. I mean, come on, dude. Masaki Noidi's back against Akriti. Suryanlik versus Tantzin. Tantzin coming off a fight against Takeru where he knocked him down. And then Jordan Stupinan, the brother of Johan, is making his one debut against Freddie Haggerty, the younger brother of Jonathan Haggerty. I mean, it's a crazy
brothers,
card.
Right?
Yeah, just a couple brothers. Not just that. Russell Crowe's going to be there. They're filming a movie.
Gladiator himself.
Gladiator himself. They're filming a movie out there with Russell Crowe. They're using this event to film, and goddamn, did they go all out? It's going to be at the Impact Arena. This is going to be so fucking good.
It's going to bring Chatri out, dude.
Yeah. Ghost says, are you guys allowed to stream one while you do Fight Companion since you're whitelisted, or is it still no video? I think we did it once with a Friday Fights that was on YouTube. I think we are not supposed to. Especially if it's on Amazon Prime, then we definitely can't.
Yeah.
If it's a pay-per-view, we definitely can't. This one was going to be pay-per-view, but then I think they took it off. They're giving it out for free, I think. But yeah, still no video. We can show what's on their YouTube channel after the fact. But they don't want people to.
We can't air it along with it.
Yeah, and I understand, right? They don't want people to watch our stream instead of their stream that like advertisers are paying for people to watch.
Yeah.
But we can do alternative commentary and a watch party or a Fight Companion where you're still watching the stream from them with just us on the side. But yeah.
Evie says, "Boo! Fights are more important than capitalism." So funny. Oh,
Not wrong,
man.
dude. Fighting is
Yeah, I
better
would
than
love
everything.
for this to be my full-time job one day. But up
Tell me
until
about
then, we need everybody's help to please let people know about the podcast. Tell them to like, subscribe, hit that
Yeah.
notification bell. We're scratching and clawing. We're trying to beat or reach 20,000 subscribers. Not there quite yet.
Not there quite
But
yet.
little by little, dude.
We're getting there. I think we have a very cool community.
Oh, 100%.
It's fucking cool.
Well, I remember not that long ago. I felt like it was not that long ago. We're trying to reach 200 subscribers.
I know, dude. It's crazy.
You know,
Pepper says that would be sick, just having the timer on screen and watching along. I mean, that's what we normally do, Pepper.
Yeah.
I think I don't think we've done one since we met you. But normally what we do is we have the round number at the bottom of the screen, and then I have a feed of just the clock from the fight on my feed right here. And that way you can time it and sync it up with us and watch along with us. It's pretty fun. It's honestly a blast.
It's a good time. It's
It's just one.
we do it.
This event is starting at 3 a.m. for me. But in March, we will be doing one for when they go to Japan, which is going to be a 1 a.m. start time for me. But we can't not do it.
1 a.m. start time? What day is it again?
3 a.m.
Do we have a date yet?
March 23rd, I think the day before you fly to Minnesota. So the channel will have it. I don't know if Ramiro's going to be able to join us, but we will definitely
more
have
meetings.
a show for
More
it.
meetings. Evie, capitalism getting in the way over and over again. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Pepper, Evie, Ghost, Coleslaw, Tony, Ruben. We had a lot of people join us today. Did I miss
Pepper,
anybody?
Blunderbuff. I think that's it. Austin came in for
Austin
a
joined us
comment.
as well. Quick
Yeah.
second. He probably had another date to go on or something like that, so he couldn't stay the entire time. Hopefully, the
Yeah.
last one went well.
Seems like it would. I mean, the last one was the second one, so.
Oh, there you go. Our guy. And then Combat Sports Today joined us as well. Blunderbuff.
yeah,
So
shout out
thank you,
Phil.
everybody, for joining us. Greatly appreciate it. Always makes it so much fun when we're able to chat. And please like, subscribe. We already talked about all that stuff. Socials. We still have TikTok going. I think it's back now.
I think TikTok's back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So join us.
Seems like a ruse, huh?
I don't know what's going on, but
Seems like a whole
I
dog
do
and
know
pony
that I
show.
appreciate everybody hopping on, right? And I do know that I appreciate our producer in the background, Richard Bustos. There we go. And thank you, everybody, for joining us for another week. Story of the Fight.